YouTube, this is our tutorials and I'm back. I actually found a job and that's why I didn't have enough time to make videos, but today I'm not working, so I have some spare time. So this is the tutorial. This is what I'm going to be showing you guys to do today. So well, it's for my friend, and as you can see that's his name. And yeah, um, the text hits the other text and it smashes it. I'm not gonna be showing you guys this part where it moves. I'm gonna be showing you guys how the part where the other text falls on top. So as you can see, it goes into slow motion right now, and yeah, it smashes the text and it goes into fast motion again. So that's what I'm gonna be showing you guys today. For this tutorial, you will need a plugin called Drowsy. This is how to get it. Go on Google, Nitro, Nitro 4D, and yeah, just click on Drowsy right here, and yeah, on his website Nitro 4D, and download whatever version you're on, R11.5 or R12, R13, R14. In this case I'm using R14, so just click download and open it up, and then go to computer and disk C or wherever you installed your Cinema 4D, and then program files, Maxon, Cinema 4D, R14, or whatever your version is, and then library. No, actually, never mind. Plugins. Go to plugins, and yeah, just drag this whole folder into this folder. But I'm not gonna do it because I already have it. And yeah, that's just quickly how to get Drowsy. But now let's open up Cinema 4D. Once you have done that, once you have Drowsy, and yeah, now let's create a text. So mograph, motext, and type in whatever you like. I'm just gonna keep it as text, just so the tutorial goes faster. Then change the font of the text, and let's just put it align to middle. I always do that. Then depth, just customize the text a little bit, and then don't use caps. Whenever you're using Drowsy, don't use caps, because it's just gonna look really choppy and you're gonna see the cracks already before it breaks. So yeah, don't use caps. I know it's kind of bad because you want to use caps, but yeah, with Drowsy try not to use them. Okay, so now let's see. What should we do next? Let's just break up this text into, actually no, never mind. Let's create a material before we break it up. So always before you break up the text, you have to create a material. So double click on the material box, double click on the material you created, then go to color and change the color to whatever fits your taste. I'm gonna use blue. And yeah, reflection, let's put Fresnel. Let's reduce the mix strength, and let's put the brightness to 0 over here, and just customize the the material however you like. And yeah, let's just put it onto the text, and let's see. Okay, so let's create another text. So we can duplicate this text, so Control C, Control V, and let's go to object and just change the text, change like what it says. I'm just gonna put it to TXT, I guess, just to make it different. And for the second text you can use caps, and you can use whatever you like. I'm just gonna use fillet caps on the start and fillet caps on the end, and I'm gonna reduce the radius of the caps to 2 centimeters. And yeah, you can just drag it up like this. Also, yeah, Um, I wanted to reduce the size of the text, but no, I'm not gonna do it because I don't know. I just want it to be the big text smashing the smaller one. That's gonna mean, but whatever. Um, so now let's create another material. Let's make it, I guess, grayish, and also with reflection. Fresnel, 50 strength, brightness 0. And let's drag this new material onto the first text, the one that's at the bottom. And you see now beside the first text you have two materials. One of them is gray, one is blue. And their position, where they are beside the text, determines whether the text is gonna be what color is gonna be on the outside and what color is gonna be on the inside. So right now on the outside this text is gray, but if you put the blue in front, it's gonna be blue. Okay, but I'm just gonna put it back to gray on the outside and blue on the inside. Okay, so the second text, you can just create another material for that if you want, or keep the same material, same blue. Okay, and now let's create a plane, I guess. Go to object menus, objects menu, and plane, and let's increase the size by dragging the little whatever square on the side, the yellow thing. I don't know what it's called. Okay, and just make it as big as you want, or as big as you can rather, so that you can't see the ends of it when you render the video or the animation. Okay, so that's pretty big. Okay, and now let's right click on the plane and go to simulation tags and click on collider body and increase the friction in the collider body tag beside plane. Increase the friction to like 115 and decrease the bounce to like 30%. Okay, and now let's break up the first text. So select it, go to plugins, Drowsy, and Drowsy, and select number of pieces. Let's just go with 25 and click on break now. And it's gonna take a few seconds depending on how many pieces you break it into. That's gonna determine how much it's gonna take. Okay, and let's see. Now let's select all of the tags beside Drowsy. Whatever you broke, the object that you broke, it's the green little things, and it should say like Drowsy number beside it. So beside those objects, select the tags. So select the first one, hold shift, and select the last one, and that way you select all of them, and now you can make changes to all of them at the same time. Okay, and now let's change the trigger to on collision, and trigger velocity threshold, let's put it to like 40, I guess, centimeters. Okay, and go to frame 0 and lift the text up above the floor so that it barely touches it. Make sure that it's not inside the floor, or else it's gonna explode. So just so it's over top of the floor. Okay, that's good. And let's just play it and test it. Let's see what. Okay, so it's just standing still. And now let's right click on, or actually no, never mind, let's select the second text above the first text. Let's actually drag it up a little bit higher. Okay, and select it, and click C on the keyboard, and right click, click on select children, hit C again, and then go into like click the plus sign right here beside it until you get to txt or whatever your text is, and drag the txt group out of the motext group, and then delete the motext group. And then for each individual letter, um, right click on each letter. So first we're gonna right click on the T and click on select children, and right click again and click on connect objects and delete, and do the same thing with the other ones. So right click on the other one, select children, right click again, connect objects and delete, and select children, connect objects and delete. And that way you have individual individual letters and they're not connected to each other. Okay, and now let's right click on the object group, the txt, the second text, and go to simulation tags, rigid body, and change the preferences such as bounds. Change the bounds to maybe 30, decrease it, and the friction to maybe like 400, and collision noise to 0. Okay, and right click on it and click on copy tag to children. So it's gonna copy it to every single one of them. If you don't do this, it's not gonna work. So just so you know. Okay, now let's play this and see what it's gonna look like. So this is what it's gonna look like. It smashes the text. Okay, there's some tweaks that I want to make with text that's getting smashed. So let's go back to these tags right here beside drowsy and select the first one, then hold shift, select the last one, and increase the friction to like 3000, or no, not 3000, maybe like 1200%, and bounce, let's decrease that to 30%, and collision noise to 0. And now let's play this again. So it should be a little bit different now. It shouldn't like fly around as much and slide on the ground. Okay, so now let's go back to frame 0, and now if you are ready, you can start changing the time scale. Okay, so go to edit, project settings. So again, edit, project settings, then dynamics, then time scale. So hold control and right click on the little circle beside time scale, and it's gonna turn red, and make sure in frame 0, and then go to frame about 33, depending on how high your text is. Go to the frame wherever the text is close to hitting the other text. So in this case it's frame 33, and decrease or actually keep the time scale the same at 100%, and hold control and right click to set the time scale at 100, and then go to frame like 37 where it's like touching the text, and decrease the time scale to 1%, and hold control and right click to set the time scale. Okay, and then make sure you're doing this not by like scrolling the whatever, the player or whatever this thing is called, because it's not gonna be accurate. You have to let it play. So you have to click play and then set the keyframes, because that way the dynamics will work properly. And now, as you can see, it's extremely slow. Um, Actually, I shouldn't have set it to 1%. Let's go back to frame. What is it? Let me see. Frame 33. Frame 37. So let's actually set the timescale to 4% and hold control and right click on frame 37 where I set it to 1%. Now I'm changing it to 4 because it's a little bit too slow. Okay, so now as you can see, it's falling slowly. Now let's increase the number of frames. Let's go up to like 180. Actually even more, like 300 or something. As much as you want, basically. And yeah, let's play it and see what it looks like. So as you can see, it's going really slow and it looks actually quite cool, I have to say. Okay, and now let's create a camera. First, let's position where we want to look at the text. Okay, like this. That's good. Okay, and let's click on camera to add a camera, and click on the little black square beside the camera right here in order to see through the camera. So when you click it, it turns white. That means you're looking through the camera. And go to frame 0 and set the keyframe for the camera wherever you want it, and then play it until the text the time slows down and the text hits the other text. And so it hits the other text at frame 30 or 140. So hit the keyframe again, okay, at 140 for the camera. Okay, and then go to like frame 260 and move the camera, so like just move around and make sure you're looking through the camera, and sort of spin around the object as it's smashing, and set the keyframe. Okay, and now let's go back to edit, project settings, and dynamics, and then general, and then time scale. Let's hold control and right click to set the time scale keyframe at 100 or 260 or wherever you want it to be set. And then let's go to like 280, so 10 frames ahead, and set the time scale to 100. Okay, and then hold control and right click to set the keyframe for time scale at 100 at 280 frames. Okay, and now this is what we have so far got. So yeah, as you can see, it hits the text going slow motion, and then it goes fast motion again. So I'm just gonna repeat what I have done. So basically, I went to frame 260 and set the time scale at 4%, and then went to frame 280 and set the time scale to 100%, so that it speeds up again. Okay, and now let's create some lighting. So go to the objects menu, create a plane, and just drag it over the text like so, make it a little bit bigger, and let's just click on the little square beside the camera so that we're not looking through it again, or not looking through it rather. And let's just put it all the way up and spin it so that it kind of lights up the front of the text. and put it more in front of the text rather than on top of it. Okay, and let's create another material, and let's use luminance in this material. So check off luminance so that it's on, and use go to texture, gradient, and click on this little thumbnail sort of, and change the type to circular, and for the black part, for the black keyframe or key or whatever, change it to completely white, and for the white, change it to sort of a little bit of orangish, just a tiny bit of orange. Okay, so that's good. So now we got a gradient orange on the edges and a white in the middle. And now let's drag this material onto our plane. Let's make the plane a little bit bigger. Okay, and let's look through our camera again and go to edit render settings and effect and ambient occlusion, and then effect and global illumination, and go to irradiance catch and set the record density to low. And let's render one of the frames. Let's just go to like frame 100 where it starts smashing the text, and let's render a test and see what it looks like. Okay, so it looks pretty nice, but we need to apply some material onto the plane, and maybe possibly create a background so that it looks nice. Okay, so now let's create a background. So go to the menu where it shows all the floor and sky and environment, and select background. Okay, and right click on the background, go to Cinema 4D tags, go to compositing, and check off compositing background, and then create a floor. Okay, so a floor, make sure that the floor is about the same level as the plane, and right click on the floor and go to Cinema 4D tags and compositing, and check off compositing background so that it's on. I know it sounds like you're turning it off, but no, just put it on, make sure there's a check mark, and let's create another material. This one is gonna be just gray or white, I guess, and put one onto the floor, and then put the other one onto the background. Make sure that the background and the floor have the same material, or else it will not work. Okay, now let's render this again. Okay, I see a little bit of a problem here. So the floor is exactly on the same level as the plane, so we're either gonna have to move it up by just a tiny bit or move it down. I think we should move it up just above the plane, just a tiny bit. Okay, so that it makes no visual difference, but it doesn't glitch out. Okay, and let's render this again and see what we got so far. Okay, so now it looks good. I'm just gonna be back when it's done rendering. Okay, so it's done rendering, and this is what we got so far. What I would do is I would just I'd make the material, the luminant material, a little bit brighter. So I can change the mix mode to multiply, and then increase the brightness to like 150, because it wasn't bright enough in my opinion. And yeah, so far it's pretty good. We got it slow motion and then goes into fast motion, so that's pretty good. And yeah, this tutorial is getting a little bit too long, so Thank you guys for watching. I know this has been too long, but um, that's because I'm trying to actually get a good result, and if I'm in a hurry, I'm not gonna be able to get a good result. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Please suggest some things like ideas that I could do tutorials about. And yeah, see you guys later.